Wow. What up, Laker family? It's your boy Detail. It's back with another post-game recap. Lakers just lost 129-99 to the Cavs. No Evan Mobley, no Darius Garland, and I'm sure they were missing plenty of other players. To the Cavs, we lost by 30 in LeBron's hometown return. Absolutely embarrassing, piss-poor effort, especially in that third quarter where it's really where we lost that game. Getting outscored by 20 in the third quarter after only being down by 2 at the half. It just makes no sense, man. This team right here, bruh. This team right here, man, just identityless, man. They better report to the authorities for identity theft because my goodness, man. My goodness. I'm at a loss of words. Like, we keep doing this. We keep doing this to ourselves, man. The Lakers keep doing this to our damn selves. We keep beating ourselves, man. This season, y'all. This season. Okay? If we're talking about how many times we got blown out this season, 17 times. I Googled it real quick. 17 times the Lakers have been blown out. That's a league leading. And all those blowouts, at least 6 have been by 20 or more, including to the Thunder, to the Suns, the Houston Rockets, and the Detroit Pistons. You know what that tells me? Look at the names I just mentioned. Cavs, Thunder, Suns, Rockets, and Pistons. That tells me that the Lakers are nowhere near being a contender right now. I'm sick. I'm sick that this is the piss poor effort we gave on what's supposed to be a nationally televised game. It's supposed to be historic because LeBron's returning back. Disgusting, man. And we gave it all up in one quarter. What are we doing? I want to know what we're doing in the locker, JJ. What are you? Is everybody getting high in the locker room? Everybody watching porn together? What are they doing in the locker room to get blown out like this every single game, y'all? I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed at this point, bro. 17 games. Lakers keep breaking our heart every chance they get. 17 games being blown out this season by double digits at least. 99-129 to the Cavs, who were missing people, all right? That first quarter, guys, we came out 28-24. It was competitive. But after that, it was downhill. That second quarter, we lost at 27-33. The third quarter, 22-42. 22-42. You're going to lose a game when that happens. And then the fourth quarter, 22-30. But we lost this game primarily in that quarter. I'll take some comments right now, man. I want to know what y'all thought. I'm sick before I continue speaking and blabbering, man. I can't believe we got 30 piece right now. I'm embarrassed for this team right now. And we've got blown out 17 times this season. That's way too many. Solo says, doesn't surprise me that we got blown out. That is our identity. It's not, because we played a lot better the previous game, and then we turn around and do this. We don't have an identity. We're either heads or tails. Get Lucas some motherfucking help. Bruh. 30 piece. It's embarrassing, sis. I can't believe it. I can't believe it, man. What are we doing? We're all over the place. I'll tell you that, chat. We're all over the place. We started off the season good. People are going to blame the schedule or whatever, but we've lost to some pretty shitty teams. And tonight, the Cavs are a good team. They're a 500 team. But they're missing people. They're missing people. There's no excuse to get 30 piece. And then LeBron played like crap. We're going to get into the performances in a little bit. We're going to get into it. But, man. Parker, appreciate you. He said, hey, Dan, such a big fan. Appreciate that, man. He said, but if this game don't tell later fans we need to get this bench, I don't know what will. We are so top heavy. You know what it is with this bench, too? Appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, bro. You know what it is with this bench? I'll show you what it is. Last game, Rui Hachimura went bonkers. He had 24 points efficiently. I think 9 for 11 or something like that. Tonight, and this is what the problem I have with Rui. This is why I wouldn't have a problem with him being traded. Tonight, even off the bench, I said it wouldn't matter if he has a bad game off the bench. Well, it mattered tonight. In 18 minutes, he went 0 for 7. Gabe Vincent, of all people, had a better game than Rui. So it's like we can't never get a collective effort, y'all. And I'm not even counting the garbage minutes from like Bronny, who had garbage minutes, he had a good 3 for 3, but it didn't count. The game was over, and he was showing out for his hometown Cleveland, right? Gabe, who, yeah, he was decent offensively, but defensively, he's always trash. Jackson Hayes, who was good. But Dalton and Drew Timmy, all these guys played in garbage time, don't count. The ones that do count, 2 for 7, Jared Vanderbilt. 0 for 7, Rui Hachimura. And Gabe, even when he goes 4 for 6, he's still a negative 12 on the plus minus because he is the hobbit of the NBA, man. Everybody just shits on him. Meanwhile, Luka had 29, right? But LeBron had an atrocity. I said they both need to get over 30 in order for us to win versus good games, especially get an efficient 60. We're nowhere near that tonight. LeBron James only 11 points on 3 for 10. He had 6 turnovers to his 5 assists. A very bad game by LeBron tonight. Very bad game by LeBron tonight. Jake LaRabia, 2 for 8 from the field. What are you doing? Marcus Smart, 1 for 4. What are you doing? DeAndre Ayton, 4 for 4, but he only got 4 shots, 10 points, only 4 rebounds. It's not going to cut it from your starting center. Like this team just identityless, y'all. Somebody call the police. There's been some identity theft. There's been some identity theft, y'all. And we're back to 10 games over 500. And I'm sure if we beat the next team, we're going to brush this off. But I'm starting to see a trend here. Really good teams or teams that are like 7, 8 games over 500, they're smoking us. That's not a good omen for us in the playoffs because almost every team that gets in the playoffs is going to be 7 to 8 games over 500. You know? Like we're losing against good teams and we're barely beating bad teams. That's no bueno. Like I have a problem with the effort that they come out and play with, man. Like, how in the fuck did you get outscored by 20 in the third quarter? How does that even happen? How does it happen? How does that happen? How is it a 2-point game at the half and we're playing competitive and we're right there, and then we lay an egg? We lay an egg in that fourth quarter. I'm sorry, in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter, but especially the third. That is embarrassing. You gave up 40 points in the third quarter? Bruh. And again, the teams that we've gotten blown out by, and I'm talking 20 plus, the Thunder, Phoenix Suns, the Houston Rockets, the Detroit Pistons, and now the Cavs. All right, so versus good teams, we're getting blown out by 20 plus. That's a horrible pattern, man. Double digits. 17 games we've lost by double digits this season. Not even competitive. In 17 games, that means we were lazy, lethargic, not focused, or just not good. And yeah, we beat Chicago, who's an okay team. We beat Dallas, who's barely even, they're not even above 500. You know, we're beating teams we're supposed to beat, but barely. Dallas almost came back in the second half. Chicago made a mini comeback. Right? So it's like, what is there really to get excited about for Laker fans right now? Well, thank God Austin Reeves is back. Thank God the trade deadline is here. But what I was telling everybody over on Primetime TV during the game is that February 5th rolls in and the Lakers don't make many moves, then this is just a gap year. That's just the truth. We'd be lucky to get out of the first round of the playoffs. All right? Because we are top heavy and because our role players aren't showing up every night. Rui, again, 24 points and then he has 0. This is the problem I have with Rui. And people are saying, well, he's off the bench now, Dan. It shouldn't matter much. It matters. You can't let Gabe Vincent outshoot you, man. You're 6'8", 6'9". You can't do that. 0 for 7 from the field. Come on, bro. Those are Gabe Vincent stats. Those are Gabe Vincent stats. I'm just disappointed. I'm not even mad, bro. Usually I'd be raging and pissed. I'm getting numb to these losses at this point. I'm getting numb, man. 99 to 129 in LeBron's return. We gave up 25 to Donovan Mitchell. All right. Jalen Tyson. 20 points. 8 for 15 from the field. 17 to Jared Allen. 11 to Dean Wade. Out here looking like Dwayne Wade tonight. Dean Wade. Right? Only one of their starters was not in double digits. Now Sam Merrill. Their bench, DeAndre Hunter, who's been struggling this season while he's on the trade block, 19.7 15 off the bench. Better than any bench player we had. All right. Thomas Bryant had 10 points for them. Players I ain't never heard about. Naquan Tomlin. Who the fuck is that guy? He had 8 points off the bench on 4 for 6. He basically matched Gabe. Okay, 7 for Craig Porter, 8 for Tyrese Proctor. Who the fuck is Tyrese Proctor? We're losing to all these no-name guys, man. They're all putting up big numbers and efficiently off the bench. Yeah, Rui had a donut, man. Mission, I can't believe it either, bro. Rui had a damn donut, man. Embarrassing, chat. What? Let's see what happens when the trade deadline rolls around. That's the only thing I can save the Lakers at this point, man. I'm disappointed. That's all I can say. Can't even get mad anymore. They've numbed me with 17 blowouts by double digits. 6 of them by 20 or more. She said, I'm looking forward to who the hell we're going to trade for. At this point, we shouldn't even complain. We know we need more, and we know our deficiencies. Let's look forward to the improvements. Yeah. Like I said, usually I'd be breaking some, but this is not even my spot. Okay, I gotta keep it chill. But 30 points hurts. You know, even though we expect it, 30 points. Can we at least compete and lose by 15? Embarrassing. I even said that out loud. Compete and lose by 15. Make it a single-digit game at least. We have Luka and we have LeBron. Those are 2 megastars. I know one's older and he's on the way out, but still, man, just disappointing. And every night we're a coin flip, man. We're either heads or tails. Okay, we're either giving head or taking it up the tailpipe. Either way is bad. Okay, this Laker team got to be better. We got to stop bending over, right? We got to stop folding like a damn stripper. Got to stop that shit. We're not the Clippers. Okay, I don't understand what we got to do to compete every night. And then we become a spectacle. Then Bronny comes in, gets a couple of dunks in, and the crowd starts cheering, and LeBron starts smiling. It's like, we are not amused. We've seen this story. We've seen this dance. Not amused anymore. You know? Sis, Tyrese Proctor. He sounds like a prostate doctor. Ain't no way we should be getting killed by nobody named Tyrese Proctor. Holy shit. What is going on? Embarrassing. The whole team, embarrassing. I'm not giving nobody a pass tonight. Ayton, again, a lot of those offensive rebounds are on him. Bro, he's lazy. Ayton, we could just put a sign on his forehead that says lazy, okay? We don't expect any hustle. He might get a couple of flip shots here and there. If he feels good, he'll get you double digits in rebounds. Dude is lazy, man. He's just lazy. He's got all this potential, and he don't capitalize off of it. I don't know. Those no-names beat us because they outworked us. This is how they make a name for themselves. I ain't going to remember them by tomorrow, D-Free. I don't know about you. But Tyrese Proctor, that's a forgettable fucking name. God dang. Alicia said, I don't have anything positive to say tonight, Dan, but I hope everyone has a good night. Lakers scored 28 or less in each quarter. Thank you so much for the positive vibes, Alicia. I appreciate you. Always. You know, Tyrese Proctor, that's it. Tyrese Proctor. We have had these same issues since the Westbrook trade. Nothing has changed. I'll go even a step further, man. And I know my guy D-Free's going to give me for saying this, but after 2020, we ain't been the same. We ain't been the same after 2020. We have not been the same after 2020, chat. We just haven't. After we won a championship, 2021, injury riddled. People are going to blame the turnaround on the season, you know? But we're injury riddled, man. With AD after that. And then from there, it was just downhill. Hasn't been the same. We were a one-hit wonder. That's what we were. We were the definition of the golden 60s when they had the oldies, and you never heard about that group or band again. That's what the Lakers were. We were a one-hit wonder in the LeBron era. And I don't think we're going to get far this year unless we make a really good trade or two and Austin comes back, like a man possessed. He needs to come back playing like his contract depends on it. Let's be honest. For the first month and a half or so, Austin was looking like an MVP candidate. Insane. I knew he would be a multi-year all-star and stuff like that, but an MVP candidate, it was over-exceeding right there. Delroy, Lindo, Ayton still played like trash. Well, he's a rental. Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's going to be here a long time, bro. Dan, how do you feel about our trade targets? There's a couple I like. I heard a rumor about Grand Theft Alvarado, Jose Alvarado. He would be a nice, pesky little feisty guy off the bench. For one, because he's nothing like Gabe. If he's not hitting shots, you know, at least he's a pesky defender. He gets after it. He would kind of bring us a little bit of what like we lost when we lost Dennis Schroeder. A little bit of that, minus the Call of Duty. Okay, so I wouldn't mind a player like that, but again, take it with a grain of salt because it's all rumors now. Lakers have inquired about certain pieces, guys like Kuminga, Herb Jones, you know, but inquiring versus, you know, breaking news, the Lakers are in advanced talks. That's when I'll believe it. When we get that breaking news, the Lakers are in advanced talks to acquire blank and blank blank. All right, that's when I get excited. Right now, it's all hearsay. You know, there's a lot of clickbaiting out there. Man, Bleacher Report's putting out trades with the Cavs for LeBron. Like, that's going to happen. You know? Just can't do it, man. Just can't do it. I don't know. And here goes the pushback. I knew D3 was going to push back. He said, number one defense in 2021. Didn't even do that in 2020. But yeah, long story short, only other team that was good was the 2023 team. Yeah, bro. I'll tell you, bro. Number one defense, and we still had Glassman over there and AD consistently getting hurt, man. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. You know, you had Glassman AD consistently getting hurt. And then after that, he came back unmotivated, man. After that, AD was out here like Woody, just flimsy all over the place. You know, falling down at every chance he gets. It was not good. You know, the Lakers were never the same. I didn't see the same hunger in AD after we won that championship in 2020. It was almost like he got a certified official stamp, and he's good with that. Some players, I don't think, have the same, you know, the same hunger or whatever. He said all the rumored targets are wings. No, I heard a Grand Theft Auto one, man. We'll see what happens, though. But a lot of people are inquiring with the Pelicans regardless, and, you know, they're inquiring with the Pelicans regardless, and the Pelicans they're crazy, man. I heard they want a Desmond Bain type trade package for guys like Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III. We're talking about players that have consistently been on a losing franchise, and they value him like they're winning players. I'm not saying they can't be a part of a winning franchise, but damn, talk about overvalued. No wonder the Pelicans rarely make trades. You know, that's why they held on to Zion all these years, and they only make trades once their players fully devalue. See, that's not smart of a franchise. You got to trade while the iron is hot. If you're not winning games, trade Zion, trade Trey Murphy III, Herb Jones, start from scratch, man, because you're not winning with any of them. You're not winning with all of them combined, let alone, you know, individually if you hold on to a couple of them. I've been telling my guy D3, they got to get rid of everybody, bro. Got to. If you're the Pelicans, bro, you got to get rid of that stench. It smells like seafood over there, like spoiled seafood. It's horrible, man. It smells like gumbo with no shrimp. You know, got to get rid of everybody in New Orleans. You got to get rid of the stench if you want to turn a franchise into a winning franchise. You got to get some winners, man. Now, again, not saying those players can't be part of a winning franchise, but I think they got to be already inserted into a winning situation. Is Nick Smith injured? Not that I heard of. He's on a two-way contract, though. I think they can only play him a certain amount of games, man, under the CBA. We better not end up with CP3 after the deadline. Imagine. It's very probable. It's not likely. It could happen. Why are we trying to shop for diamonds with $20, man? Because that's the best way to do it, man. You got to go to the Goodwill, man. With $20, you might come up with a Super Nintendo seller for $150, man. You never know. You never know, bro. If you don't try, you never know. I mean, look what we gave up a nickel and a dime. A nickel and a dime for Luka, so Lakers are used to it. But they should do something, man. They shouldn't sit on their hands and think like, oh, like you're not going to be able to do anything else, you know? I don't know. They're always protecting these future assets for a future move, and then boom, they did strike while the iron was hot with Luka, though. They did that, you know, because the Mavs were already complaining about his weight and all this and all that. So Lakers jumped on it. So I give them credit for that. But you know, I don't know, man. We got to figure it out. We got to figure it out for sure. Michael Porter Jr. would be great. Yeah, if he could stay healthy as well. God forbid we trade for him, and then we get the whole Kendrick Nunn contract. You know? Lakers got the best gift ever. They said the same thing about Pau Gasol, man. They said the same thing when we traded for Chris Paul for 5 minutes before we found out it was rescinded. You know? He said LeBron lost us this game. He had an off game, man. But so did the rest of the Lakers, man. It's not like DeAndre Ayton was balling. Rui came out 0 for 7. It's never one guy. He contributed to the loss for sure. He contributed to the loss for sure, but it's not just all on one guy. He had a shitty game, though. I can't even lie, bro. He had a really shitty game. He surprised me because I'm thinking, oh, he's back in Cleveland. He might go for 30 tonight. Nope. 11 points on 3 for 10. Happens, though. By the time, he's going to have off games. It happens. You know? Why would any team trade with the Lakers? Because we have expiring contracts. We have a draft pick. You know? Facts. Big facts. You know what I find funny, G Free? When people share their opinion and then at the end of the sentence they say something like be real or let's be honest. It's like, no, we're being honest. Yeah, LeBron had a shitty game, but so did Rui, so did DeAndre Ayton, so did Jake LaRavia. It's a team sport, chat. It is possible for one guy to lose you the game, but in order for LeBron to have lost us the game, he would have had to take more than 10 shots. He took 10 shots. 10 shots didn't lose us the game. And he hit 3 of the 10, so meaning he missed 7. He did have 6 turnovers. There's been games when Luka has 7, 8 turnovers. So it happens. He had a bad game. We move, guys, because he's been playing great up until then, up until tonight. Jake, 2 for 8 from the field, 0 for 5 from 3. He had a bad game, equally as bad as LeBron's. If you look at the shooting percentage, now the only difference is that Jake only had 2 turnovers while LeBron had 6. Ayton, 4 rebounds, not acceptable. Not acceptable. Marcus Smart, 1 for 4, 2 points, not acceptable. Rui, 0 for 7. Bagel, definitely not acceptable. In 18 minutes, Jared Vanderbilt, 2 for 7, 4 points, not good enough. Right? So again, one player didn't lose us the game, but yeah. The Sour Patch Lakers, first we're sour, then we're sweet. I like that. I like that take right there. Seriously, I really like that take because let's be honest. We were hoping for a good game. We said the Cavs would be dangerous. Obviously, they got Donovan Mitchell. They got good defense, stuff like that. But to get 30 piece, nobody expected that. I didn't wake up today thinking, oh, the Lakers are going to get 30 piece today. No. To get 30 piece, that's truly embarrassing. And remember, here's the thing, right? JJ Redick said we weren't going to have 50 more games like this. Well, we've had quite a few, JJ. We have 17. It might not be 50, but we're reaching a quarter of what you said we wouldn't play like. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I'm sick of guys missing wide open shots while other teams take advantage of those looks. I don't know what we do when we practice, man. Do we just sit there and dance and twerk and stuff? Like, what are we doing during practice? We need to have some open runs where the fans can see the way the Lakers are practicing. That might be part of the problem. Another thing is just lack of focus, man. This was a ball game until we came out in the second half, and then we decided not to play. The Lakers decided they were all pregnant at the half. They had food comas. Right? They have food babies at the half. I don't know if they were chomping on whatever, a Cleveland biscuit or what, but they came out of the half lethargic, like they was pregnant, man. Like they didn't want to get hurt the baby or something. That's how we played. We played like that, like we were walking on eggshells. The entire thing, man. Sucks. It's because wide open shots for our non-shooters isn't the same as wide open shots for a good shooter on another team. That's facts too. We don't have enough shooters. And there's another thing about that, man. Sometimes players are good shooters and then they shrink in the big moments. We've seen plenty of good shooters come to LA. Malik Beasley, guys like that. They come to LA and completely shrink. Disappointing, man. But again, it's the way the cookie crumbles, man. And then Bronny got some nice burn in Cleveland, and I saw LeBron smiling. They might like the attention they're getting there. I'm saying, I said it pregame. My theory is LeBron will retire Cav. We'll see. Time will tell, but yeah, that was quite the spectacle. Cleveland really showed up. They're really recruiting heavy, man. They came out here and they were guns blazing, and I think pregame Donovan Mitchell, or I don't remember who, one of the Cavs was asked if they thought this was LeBron's last game in Cleveland. He said, I don't think it's his last. Like, they know something we don't, man. They're talking like they already have something on the back channels that's about to go down in the summer. We'll see. But yeah, interesting, right? Interesting. I got Solo said, that's what annoys me. We've needed shooters and bigs since forever, and it doesn't get addressed. That's on Rob Pelinka. And that's why a lot of people want to fire. Rob Pelinka has been a great at landing stars, all right? He has landed the likes of Anthony Davis, and even though Russell Westbrook didn't hit, he was still a star at the time. Russell Westbrook, Luka Doncic, like he's landed some big stars. But what about the role players? He's let go of some really great ones. Alex Caruso, he let go of. Right, most recently Jordan Goodwin. Like he's let go of some really good role players, man. And we'd be like, oh, hopefully we resign that player. Nope, he's on the Suns now, right? Caruso on the Thunder now. First the Bulls, so it's like he's not good at evaluating role players. I think he's only good at evaluating and trading for stars when the time is right, which is good. But he shouldn't be a full-time GM because to build the proper championship contenders, you have to get the plugins right too. You know what I mean? You got to get all the plugins. You can't have the recording studio and the program and not have the right plugins. I'm saying you can't. Yeah, you know what? You're right, Prince. You're right. That's what I'm talking about. Like shooters by title come here a lot and they forget to shoot. I'm sure we've had plenty. None come to mind right now because they weren't shooters with us. We've had plenty that just they break up every time they come to LA, man. Katrina said, "Hi Dan, I really hope we build a better team going forward." You know what? Let's see what happens. February 5th, guys. What is it? How many days away are we from February 5th? We're about 8 days away, 7 if you don't count tonight. It's gonna get good, and I got you guys covered, man. I'm gonna have a trade deadline special, and I'm gonna have videos before that. I still need to do some trade machine video, man. Tomorrow, you know what? I'm gonna incorporate it tomorrow. The trade machine with the NBA Coast to Coast with Lou. I'm gonna incorporate. I'm gonna see what he thinks about it, and I'm gonna see what you guys think about it. So make sure you guys tune in tomorrow morning. I'm not sure if it's 11 a.m. or 12 noon, but I got you guys on NBA Coast to Coast because I have to make time. I got to do the trade machine video, and I got to share my thoughts on what I would personally do if I was the Lakers to kind of bolster up the team. You know, let's see what happens. But again, can't hold your breath because there's a chance that the Lakers could be using this as a gap year, and then once LeBron goes or whatever, then they go fully in trying to do something. Maybe even packaging Austin Reeves for another starter pair with Luka. I don't know. I don't know what their plans are, but just saying. The Fresh Freeport says, Dan, from the Lakers losing at the half, I know we was going to lose because our third quarters have been the worst. In order for the Lakers to win, we have to get a lead at the half. I think we're undefeated this year when we lead at the half. Actually, you might be right on that. That's a good observation. Yeah. Sometimes in the third quarters, a lot of times, though, we get off to slow starts, and that comes back to bite us. It's just been, it's been a roller coaster season. We're still 10 games over 500 and in the thick of things, in spite of Austin Reeves being out. So there's some positives to draw from that, but defensively, we leave a lot to be desired, man. We gave up damn near 130 points to the Cavs, bro. 129 points and only scored 99. That's bad. That's bad because the Cavs are actually a good team. Right? They're not a great team. They're a good team. My guy CJ says, hey, Dan, I just feel that ever since Kobe last championship, this team has really been hot or cold, never consistent. I go even further than that, James. And I'm going to tell you where this Laker team really turned the tide and turned into an inconsistent franchise. And that was since the passing of the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss. That man didn't have the patience that these new GMs and owners have. That man, if the Lakers started spiraling, he would right away start wheeling and dealing. He'd go and trade for a Vladimir Radmanovic, for a Shannon Brown, for a Trevor Ariza, right? He'd go and plug in these players that Phil Jackson, the Zen master, that's another thing. We haven't had a consistent coach since Phil. I was hoping it'd be JJ, but who knows? Time will tell. But, Phil Jackson would really turn these he would put the pressure on these players, and they would turn into diamonds in the rough. Like Trevor Ariza turned into a starter. He went from journeyman because I think Orlando drafted him, then or either New York drafted him and traded him to Orlando or vice versa. Don't remember, but he went from journeyman to staple. He was one of the key pieces to that first championship run versus Orlando, right? So ever since the late great Dr. Jerry Buss passed, this franchise has not had stability. We're hoping and we're praying that changes with Mark Walter taking over. Okay, that's what everybody's hoping for. We need some more stability. Let's see what Mark's made of this trade deadline, but especially in the offseason where I think he's really going to strike. He's going to strike like a cobra in the offseason. Right now, he's just sitting back, absorbing and looking at everything. He did the same thing. If you look, I went and did my research at the way when he took over the Dodgers, how down they were, and how he started after the first year. He kind of let things play out, and then the shoe dropped, and he started cleaning house. That could be very positive, especially the Lakers have an underwhelming season here. We hate to say this is a gap year, but it very well could be. And maybe he's sitting back and watching. Maybe he's going to strike when the time is right. Right. So it could get really interesting, but I'm not going to hold my breath for it. Let's just take it one game at a time. And hopefully we get Austin Reeves back. I thought he would play this game. Right. Rumor had it he might play this game. He didn't. Hopefully we get him back for Friday. That's the hope. We got to look at the positives, guys. WC, those guys won't be free to sign with us. Didn't read the comment, but he said we also have to re-sign several of our players like Rui and Austin and Marcus. Yeah, a lot of Austin for sure. Rui, big question mark. I would actually be in favor of trading him because I don't think he's going to be worth the big paycheck he's going to demand on the open market. He's just been so inconsistent. I'd be in favor of trading him if we can get a 3-and-D guy. If we can't, then we hold on to him and either let him walk in the offseason or you try to bring him back for cheap. Austin for sure, you got to bring him back no matter what. Marcus Smart, I would like to bring back. He's going to be cheap. But yeah, we got to have to maneuver around that for sure. Too much whining. How did these guys grow up playing ball? I remember we would never call foul. It's a different era, man. What? I blame the players, but I blame the NBA more than the players. The NBA has rewarded these actors and these floppers. The NBA has rewarded these guys blatantly. Like we saw it, the flopping arrow, it really started with James Harden. Do you guys remember that we had to guard James Harden with our arms tied behind our back at some point because of how bad the calls were? It really started with that clown. But the era, has become softer and softer, and these players are so used to getting the calls. It's like a spoiled child, right? If you give them the candy all the time when you go into the grocery store, and the moment you don't give it to them, they're going to cry about it. They're going to flop and whine and do all this stuff. And that's what happens with the players. They're used to being rewarded for this stuff. So, it's on the players partially, but the players they are taking advantage of the system, which I hate. I hate that they do it, but they kind of have to do it. I've seen LeBron get hacked really hard, and he doesn't get the call. And then when he flops, he does get the call sometimes, So flopping kind of rewards the players. They're going to keep doing it, Just saying. Apparently, the Lakers are going to have the most cap space since 2019. Hopefully, we can build the right team around Luka and Austin. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see because y'all remember what happened when we had a lot of cap space. You guys remember what Jim busted? Who he gave it to? There's one year we're saving up all this cap space. We're thinking, oh, we're going to get Carmelo. Oh, we're going to get LaMarcus. We got Luol Deng and Mozgov. That's got to be one of the worst free agencies in history. So, again, one day at a time, man. Let's hope they can, like you said, ace the test. But it's going to be a test in front of the new owner, Mark Walter. Let's see how hands-on he is and how aggressive he attacks free agency and even the trade deadline. I think we might get a glimpse this trade deadline. If we don't, then that means he's just giving them a full year to kind of sit back and observe, right? Reeves has to agree to sign and trade, and it's looking like he won't. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to trade Reeves. I want to hold on to him. We had the best backcourt early in the season, and Luka and Reeves, they were looking like the best backcourt in a long time. They can be that, but you got to plug in the right players around them for it to work because they can both be defensive liabilities at times. That's just a fact. Even though Austin gives tons of effort, and Luka, when he gives effort with his wingspan, he can get a block and a steal and stuff like that. Like the other night, they were picking on him. I forgot what team it is, and they got 6 straight stops in a row when they were trying to go right at Luka. So when the effort is there, especially in the playoffs, I think he'll be all right. But we got to have the other 3 players are going to have to be on it, man. That's what Dallas did. They put around Kyrie and Luka. We've seen it before, a similar backcourt to the one with Luka and Austin. If Kyrie and Luka can do it, I believe Luka and Austin can do it as well and be successful. But again, those players, they had Derrick Jones Jr., they had Derek Lively, they had a Gafford, they had all these like defensive wing and athletic bigs that just worked. So again, let's see, man. Because I remember that I was so mad we lost the game versus Houston. Bro, fun fact. Vince Carter, I remember around that time that we played the Houston Rockets, and I just had a complete total blow. Like I blew up. The representatives, I kid you not, on everything, from Vince Carter, he was starting his own series. I forgot what it was called, and they wanted to use that clip of mine, and I gave him permission. They said just in case we use it. I don't think they ever used it because they would have emailed me, and if it is, it's out there somewhere. But of me blowing up post game and destroying the officials and calling them the Houston Rock refs, man, because it was so bad. That was such a like. That's when, to me, when the basketball started getting worse with the flopping and the calls, and ever since then it's been egregious, really. But I've kind of like become numb to it now. I don't complain as much about the refs as I used to. Man. I used to be on here fuming unless it's blatant. Like earlier, when they called the foul on Luka and they beat us on some free throws, I was fuming that night. But it has to be so blatant for me to complain because I'm so used to poor officiating on a nightly basis, both ways. You see hand checks every night on every possession. You can steer a player, though. You can't steer a player, though. We want some steering over here. We need some steering wheels over here, man. We want everything allowed. Again. Bro, Solo. I'll never forget. Y'all remember, I was excited, bro. I'll cover free agency every year. I was like, oh, man, we got all this cap space. Midnight strikes. Because remember, back then, free agency struck, I think, July 1st at midnight. Breaking news. Lakers signed Timothy Mozgov. Bruh. I'm thinking a bigger move was coming, so I wasn't as mad, but I was confused. Then when we got Lil Dang, I was really confused. I thought another move was coming, but that was our big acquisitions. I was mad. By the time the offseason was done, I was mad. That was a nightmare, man. That was an absolute freaking nightmare. I'll never forget it, man. Best thing that could happen is that they expand in the front office, give Rob a GM. Bro should not have been the president and the GM. We have legitimately the thinnest front office. We also don't have a pro 1 and 2. I agree. Scouting department. Yep. The scouting team anymore either. Scouts that scout other teams' players for us. We fired the whole department this year. Yeah, that's why I think the cleaning and then the replacements are coming in the offseason for sure. We just finished paying Dang off. That's insane, Solo. Again, we've had darker days. You know, being up 10 games over 500, I'm not going to sit here and rant like when we were down 10 games under 500 and we weren't doing anything because we were locked up with these horrible contracts like Mozgov and Dang, right? So these are way more glorious days than those days. You know, that's why you don't see me ranting in every other night. But there will be even brighter days, man. I believe we're in good hands with Mark Walter. I've seen what he's done with the Dodgers, and I'm expecting the same with the Lakers. All right. So maybe it's high and unreasonable expectations, but that's what it is. When you're a Laker fan, you're going to have unreasonable expectations because we've been spoiled through the years. All right. The standard is always high. Golden standard. But anyways, guys, that is going to wrap it up for me. I do appreciate you guys, man. This video was brought to you and sponsored by Prize Picks. Make sure you guys tap in with promo code DTLF. All right. And your first $5 deposit, you will get 50, all right, to play with in promo credit. All right. So again, thank you guys so much. Not the desired result, but one game closer to getting Austin Reeves back and one day closer to the trade deadline. Let's see what comes of it, guys. Keep your head up. Always remember, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow night because tomorrow night I got you, or tomorrow morning, most likely tomorrow morning, I got you guys NBA Coast to Coast with me and my co-host Lou. All right. So stay tuned, guys. Can't wait to talk trades, rumors, and so much more. And I'm going to fire up the trade machine. All right. So keep it locked, guys. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Peace.